Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. Today I have 5 simple hacks to make meal prep so easy to help you lose weight and save you a ton of money. All the tips I'm gonna share are gonna really break down meal prepping and make it so simple. So even if you're a beginner, this is gonna be absolutely perfect for you. And there's one tip that I didn't really learn until later on in my 45-pound weight loss journey that really unlocked my weight loss. When I started doing this, I feel like so many things changed. So make sure you stick around for that one. So if one of your goals is to eat healthier or lose weight, I made this video for you. Sweat the thumbs up. That just means give it a little click. And if you're new to my channel, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. I have new videos every week where I share my health and fitness journey to help you with yours. Plus, I do giveaways every week for my subscribers, and they're getting even bigger this year. So all you need to do is be subscribed to my channel, drop a comment down below, literally about anything. And every week I'm going to share a new winner over in the community channel. So check back to see if you won. And girls, this is not some fancy, crazy meal prep. This is super realistic, foundational foods that are going to help you eat healthier and lose weight that literally anyone can make. This first one might seem super simple, but honestly, it is overlooked all the time, and I'm guilty of it sometimes too, and that is to have a plan. Like to actually know what you're gonna make, and that starts with grocery shopping. So last week, I did a full grocery haul. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. And I gave you guys a free grocery printable that are all like my healthy grocery shopping staples. But that's where it has to start, because if you don't have a plan, you're gonna go into it so overwhelmed, and that's how I used to be. I created a really simple formula that helps keep me on track so I know what I'm prepping and also saves me a lot of money, and that is to have 3 staple proteins, 2 staple starches or carbs, and then 3 to 5 different veggies. So I can mix and match, season them how I want, but I always know that those are like my go-to. It also just makes it so it's not overwhelming when you're actually cooking, so you can get it all done in and out in an hour. The last thing with having a plan is to start with one meal. I know that for me, if you think about trying to meal prep 5 different meals for 5 days of the week, it gets really crazy, and that's not realistic for most people. So I always pick the one that is hardest for me to eat healthiest on. So if you're in an office and you typically go and get lunch, you're gonna be adding a ton of extra calories. Start with meal prepping your lunch. That's gonna have the biggest impact on your body and your wallet, and it just keeps it simple. The second thing I started doing that really helped make it easy was buying in bulk and shopping seasonal. So these are 2 different things, but they kind of go together. So buying in bulk, that can be at like a Costco or Sam's Club or somewhere where you can just get better deals on higher quality foods or just bigger portions. You can either prep it ahead of time or just freeze whatever you aren't gonna prep in that week to save it, and you are gonna save a decent amount of money if you're able to do that and have the space to store it. I don't have a ton of fridge and freezer space, so I buy like bulk light, just the things I know I go through really fast, and that helps me a bit. And then shopping seasonal, whether it's at a farmer's market or just knowing what fruits and veggies are in season, those are always going to be a better price than ones that aren't. So just because they're in the store and they're available doesn't mean they're in season, and you'll definitely save money if you shop that way. I talked about this a lot in my grocery haul video, but you need to hear this. Buying organic is not the end all be all. If you're trying to eat healthy, yes, it is great if you can buy organic, non-GMO, pasture raised, yada yada, right? You're gonna be healthier, the food's gonna be better quality, but at the end of the day, you have to do what works in your budget. And there's 2 lists you can Google. I'll try to link them down below, but the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, and those are really good guides that come out every year to tell you which fruits and veggies and things are the best to buy organic if you're gonna spend the money, and which ones you really don't need to. One thing that has saved me so much time meal prepping is not worrying about prepping all these perfect foods mealed out in like perfect portions in their little containers and like getting all crazy. I do that sometimes when I'm feeling extra, and I do like it at times, but especially if you're just getting started, if you're new to meal prep, don't stress about doing that. It can really drive you crazy. But the thing you need to know is how to actually build a healthy plate, especially if weight loss is your goal. I have 4 things I make sure I have with every single meal to know that I am just like locked in on my health goals. So there's always a protein. That is the biggest portion of my food. Then I'm gonna have some type of vegetable, especially if like a fibrous one is the best, some type of starch or healthy carb, and a healthy fat. I need all 4 of those to be like a complete meal. And if you have any of my meal plans, you have seen this a million times, but I use my hand as a guide. So whether you're ordering out, you're building a plate meal prepping, use your hand. So your protein is that biggest portion. That's gonna be about the size of your palm and maybe like a 1/2 inch thick or so. That's gonna be around a 4 to 5 ounce portion of protein, and that's like what you wanna have. Then your fingers, kind of this fill in the space right here of these 4 fingers, is more of your starchy carbs. So think of like sweet potatoes, rice, whatever. Healthy fats for your thumb. That's a nice portion of fat. And then just like fill the rest up with greens and veggies to get all the fiber and nutrients from those. So you can just like make a nice crown around your hand with all of those. All right, I'm gonna show you some of my go-to snacks, but that is number 4. You cannot forget to meal prep snacks. Pick one meal, but make sure you prep snacks because those are really where we end up sneaking in so many unnecessary calories that we don't even realize because it's easy just to like down a bag of chips or eat a bunch of crackers and hummus and not realize that we're eating way more than we need, or maybe something that's really calorically dense, like high in calories, without a lot of good nutrients that our body's gonna use. So prep some snacks. I'm gonna show you a few of my go-tos in a minute, but that is one that cannot be forgotten if you're new to meal prep and getting started. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna need you to come in real close for this one. Number 5, if you are trying to lose weight or building lean muscle as a goal, if you're trying to change your body composition, meaning change the shape of your body in some way, you're not just maintaining, you have to be okay with eating the same foods most of the time. That doesn't mean you have to eat the same thing every single day. It can be seasoned different. But if you can get out of your own way and out of your own head of thinking like, I need to have these extravagant different meals all the time, you will have such better progress and success and so much faster. So what I'm gonna show you today with some of my meal prep is just these staples. Like I said, I have 3 different proteins, I have a couple of different starches, a couple of different veggies to mix it up and change the seasonings of them so I feel like I'm having something a little different, but it's gotta be kind of basic and you gotta be okay with that because if you wanna live like an 80-20 lifestyle where you feel like you can still splurge, you can still have drinks and you can go out and do those things when you want to, not all the time, 20%, right? Then you have to like lock in that other 80% and be okay with meals being to fuel your body and focusing on nourishing your body instead of like just for pleasure and feeling like you're like eating something really delicious. It should be delicious, so I take that back, but like, you know what I mean. Honestly, that was one thing that shocked me during my 45-pound weight loss journey was how much my taste changed. Like, yes, if you're used to eating takeout or going to restaurants a ton and then you start meal prep and you're eating your own food, you're like, wow, this isn't quite as exciting or as delicious as fill in the blank, but your tastes change and you realize it is really good. And then sometimes when you have those other foods after a while of eating clean and changing your nutrition, the other stuff doesn't taste that good. You start tasting the extra fats and salts and all the things that you're like, oh, this does not make me feel good in my body. And that's a cool place to be. And I promise you will get there. So stick with me. We're gonna make it happen. And this Tone Body Challenge we're doing right now is the best place to make it happen. So if you haven't already signed up, you can still jump in and join us to finish the rest of this month strong. I'll put a link down below with the free detox meal plan in there. It's never too late. And there are so many incredible workouts for you and Move to just help you get on the right track for this year. And then nutrition and meal plans are an amazing way to just reset and recalibrate your body. Since my starchy vegetables and proteins take the longest, that's where I'm gonna start so that I can kind of multitask and get all this meal prep done. I have so many great videos on meal prep too if you want even more tips or wanna see different meals. I had one where I cooked everything and like 20 different meals in under an hour. It was the full week, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything in under an hour. So check that one out. But this is a good place to start. So for my meats, I have some chicken, ground turkey, and ground beef. I try to utilize all of my kitchen appliances. Again, all get done at one time. I'm doing my Brussels sprouts that I bought this last week, sweet potatoes. So even though these foods are healthy, you also want to be mindful of portions. Again, going back to the hand thing I showed you a few minutes ago, I'm going to cook them all up and then just portion them out into better sizes. I'll show you guys what that looks like so that they're ready to grab and go for the week. Okay, so I put the sweet potatoes in at 400. Those take the longest, so I started with those. I'm gonna chop these guys just like in half. You can roast them whole, it just takes longer. So sweet potatoes go in usually about 25 minutes, and these will be about 15 or so. If you're trying to eat healthy, if you're trying to lose weight, you need to increase your protein. I say this in every video, I'm gonna say it again, but this is an easy way to sneak it in. So I'll use bone broth when I cook pasta, I cook rice, I do my veggies. I'll try to add it just because it adds additional protein. Plus it gives it some more flavor without having to like overly use oils and things. So those are gonna add up calories so fast. Compared to protein and carbs, fats have 9 calories per gram. So it adds up very quickly. So fats are good, but the right amounts. I got the Instapot. I'm gonna do my rice. It's just a white long grain rice. I use this at least once a day, and either this one or brown rice in like bowls and salads and everything. So I'm gonna do this with the leftover bone broth instead of water to add more protein to it. Brown rice is a bit higher in protein just to continue to increase that. So I'm gonna dump it in. I'm do my proteins next. So I have my chicken, my ground beef, and my ground turkey. I share this a lot, but I have one secret ingredient when I make chicken that just is the only way you can make chicken so it doesn't get dry, because dry chicken is the worst and you will get sick of eating it. But I eat chicken pretty much every single day, but only because I do this. It does not matter how you season your chicken, what spices you put in there, whatever flavor you're going for. The key ingredient that you need to be adding is some Greek yogurt. It can be non-fat even. This is actually full fat, but even if it's a non-fat Greek yogurt, it will still help lock in so much moisture in that chicken. It is like foolproof way to make it. I do it in the air fryer at 385 degrees for about 20 minutes. Throw the boneless, skinless breast in. It's about 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, and then I'll add my seasoning. So I do my seasoning very minimal when I make my turkeys and my chickens and all my proteins, because I want to be able to switch up the flavors throughout the week. So one day I might add teriyaki sauce. One day I might add taco seasoning. I usually will just do a little salt and pepper, sometimes like an Italian blend that just is some like plain spices that aren't overly one direction or another. This is going into the air fryer since the oven is full of veggies. So I'm just gonna dump them in here. So just a little bit of salt on there, pepper. And I'm gonna add a little garlic powder because I feel like garlic goes with literally any type of culinary style. I dropped the ground turkey in. I'm gonna throw in the ground beef. I was gonna make burger patties, but honestly, I think I'll just wait. And if I wanna have those for dinner one night, I'll just form them into burgers. So I'm gonna put 2 pounds of the ground beef. I'm gonna throw them in the bigger one here and just let those cook down. Just again, very minimal seasoning. All right, so now everything is in and cooking. I'm gonna grab some stuff to prep some of my go-to snack. For me, losing weight, that has been one of the key things, to have quick, healthy snacks on hand. So I don't just grab the crackers, I don't grab the cookies, the chips, all of that kind of stuff. And that goes back to like all the times I've talked about just trying to be her. Like that version of yourself that is the best, healthiest version where you are your happiest, feeling good. What does she do? What choices does she make? If you keep that in mind as you go into the rest of this year, it's gonna make everything so much easier. Also, I don't know if I said this before, but the reason I wash everything with the apple cider vinegar, I either do that or baking soda, is because apple cider vinegar is an antiviral. So it's gonna help clean it and get rid of like anything that might be on it, like from pesticides or whatever else. So I'll let that soak with a little bit of water, switch it around, rinse them, and then put them in a container. I always love having berries on hand. I'm gonna do some carrots and some celery, and then I already bought just like pre-cooked hard-boiled eggs. So those are ready to go. That's another really good high protein, easy snack. You guys, I just started getting kind of sad and nostalgic about the kitchen changing. Like it's gonna be beautiful, but it's just weird. I've been filming videos in this exact kitchen since I started my YouTube channel. That was 10 years ago. It's just been wild, and I just appreciate you all so much for being here, for your support, for sharing my channel with your friends and family, for showing up every week with me. Like I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you how meaningful it is. And here we are, and we're gonna have a brand new kitchen so I can do even more healthy recipes with you and meal prep and whatever other videos you want to see for this year. So I have a lot of ones I think you're gonna love in store for you guys, but if there's certain videos you're like, I want more of these, or specific things you want to know or see or learn, just drop it in the comments. I am in the comments every single week. I try to get back to all of you girls, as many of you as I can, and I'm here to listen and I'm here for you. So I want to make sure that the videos I'm making are things that you want to see, that are going to make a difference for you and actually be really helpful for you in your journey too. I washed up my veggies. I'm still just waiting for everything else to finish cooking up. And when I meal prep, I usually listen to like a podcast, I watch a movie, watch YouTube. I try to like multitask in that way too. So I'll typically have an earbud so I'm like getting other stuff done. I do it while Luke naps, my son, so that I can again make the most out of my time. And it just makes it a lot more enjoyable and easy and like helps the time go by really fast. But typically I am done, like I said, in about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what I'm doing. So today what we're doing is just this breakdown of the staples so I can mix and match and throw them together throughout the week to have a variety of a ton of different meals. So I'm eating the same foods, essentially the same ingredients, but also still have that ability to mix it up so it tastes delicious and different and has like a little spin on it each day. All the timers just started going off. The food is ready, so I'm gonna start putting it into containers, and I'll show you guys some of the sauces and things that I like to add just to give you some inspo too. Girls, that was everything. I have everything prepped in containers. So like I said, I'm just doing them in their own. When I want to make them for lunch or dinner, I'm gonna mix and match what I want. So I have my proteins. I grabbed my greens that I bought last week in my grocery haul. So some mixed greens, spinach, and romaine lettuce. I always like to do like a green as my base, especially I live for bowls. And if you have any of my meal plans, like the Hot Body meal plan or Get List, I have a million bowl recipes. So do my greens, and then I'll do a grain or a starchy carb like my sweet potato or rice. I'll add in other vegetables like the roasted Brussels sprouts or asparagus, broccoli, get some more in there, and then my protein so I can mix those up throughout the week. And the sauces I use the most, liquid amino acids. This is a protein that tastes basically just like soy sauce, but it's better for you. And then this is Yellowbird hot sauce, no added sugar. So you make sure your sauces don't have sugars in them. A little sriracha. And then I love this one is like a buffalo hot sauce. I'm weird. I put this on like Caesar salad. I don't know. I really like it. Anyway, those are kind of my staple go-tos when I'm prepping food like this. Veggies I'll do some hummus or dressing, and then my fruit for yogurt bowls, parfaits, smoothies, all of that. An entire meal prep, super fast, easy, healthy, budget friendly. You can buy whichever ones work for you. These are just my staples. Make sure you go check out last week's video too if you haven't, for the grocery haul to get that printable. And if you haven't already joined the Tone Body Challenge, just jump in. It is great to start anytime. You'll get the meal plan, you'll get the workouts every day you can do at home to really support you as you go into this new year. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button and make sure you check the community channel to see if you are this week's winner. Now let's go crush 2025 and be totally unstoppable together.